Dear Mandisa, I love you unconditionally and completely. When you were younger, you had immense amounts of energy. You were sharp, adaptable, resilient, tough, and you endured many difficult storms. But you also had many happy moments. You had zeal for life. You were generous and extremely compassionate. I hope you passed on some of your gifts to others.
Greetings, I'm Mandisa Mashego and welcome to My Own Kind of Beautiful. I'm proud to be a woman, and we have lots of women who fight for women's rights. And today in studio I have Mandisa, who has a record in modern times. Some say she is a modern freedom fighter because South Africa's revolution is still ongoing. She's a politician, has worked in the trade union sector, and is a proud feminist. Please help me welcome Mandisa.
Hi, Millicent.
Oh, you look so beautiful. I love your hair.
Thank you. I love your outfit. I need to expropriate it.
Oh, thank you. Now, I know there's a story behind your hair before we get into it.
Yeah.
I love what it looks like. So you have your own tricks and ways of doing it. What's the trick?
Well, I mean, the trick is one, not to comb it. Because African ethnic hair or African ethnic hair,
Yeah.
I suppose Chinese hair is ethnic to the Chinese.
Yes.
So African ethnic hair shouldn't be combed because we naturally have dry hair. As much as we have oily skin, our hair is actually not, doesn't match the skin, it's dry. So when you comb dry hair too much, it ends up falling off a lot. So you should avoid combing it. You can just handle it with your fingers,
So the
or
magic
use
is
use a very wide toothed comb. But all of
Yeah.
this I learned from my hairdresser, and I obviously there's Google and YouTube.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, please tell us more about yourself and where you come from.
Look, I mean, I know that people often define me as a politician. I'm not. I always I hate that definition. I dislike it. I'm a public relations practitioner professionally.
Oh, okay.
I worked in communications, brand communications, marketing, strategic marketing and strategic comms across many sectors for about 18 years.
Whoa.
Before I came to politics.
Yeah.
So some people in the corporate circles obviously do know me very well. I've dealt with a lot of the guys in the media space, newsrooms and, various industries where I've worked. And I've worked in the financial services sector. I've started off in print media. I also studied radiography in my very early days. But I couldn't handle the guts and the gory stuff in the hospital. I was like an A-B student. But because the hospital environment just it needs special kind of people, I'm a very nurturing person, but I couldn't physically handle, the hardcore healthcare stuff,
Yeah.
But really, and then I've been an activist, I suppose, all my life. Even as a kid, I was always a problem child. You can't be an activist and not be a problem child. You have to be a problem child. I have a daughter. She's in the States now because, she just didn't have confidence in South Africa's capacity to absorb her skills.
Yeah.
So she's doing some au pairing work in the States and considering pursuing her PhD and completing her master's there. So, I have a few nieces, a nephew, 3 sisters, a mother and a father who are both still alive, though they're not living together.
Yeah.
And essentially an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah.
I've done just about as much as you can imagine a woman can do. But,
that is a long profile.
We've got space for lots of things.
Profile.
You have to. Look, I mean, I say this to even my daughter, her friends and all the young people I often talk to. Don't get stuck into a job or a career. It's boring. It's 80s. Nobody does that anymore. When you are sick of your job, just change. If you don't want to change a career, you don't have enough courage, change the job. You don't walk out. You start looking for something else. Quietly. Your boss mustn't know. Don't burn your bridges. But for a better offer, of course, we've got the corona scourge. So it might not be possible now, but there are so many new opportunities.
There are.
Popping up for you youngsters. I'm a little bit older now, but even I have a little bit of creativity left. I've turned the tide. I'm trying to, break back into the entrepreneurial space. A bit away from the, strategic marketing and brand communication stuff because I've done that. It's, you get bored doing the same thing, but it's a natural talent and it's a gift, and I'm damn good at it. So, people who want me to help them out with that kind of work, I'll do it. But essentially, I'm looking into new frontiers. We've got new economic opportunities in the, renewable energy space.
Yeah.
We've got many, many new opportunities in the manufacturing space. We've got young people, young black people consuming new types of products.
Yeah.
Those products must come from black people.
Not a lot of young women have that.
Yes.
For some reason. So how can we tackle that and get them to think like that?
No one is going to give you courage. Nobody is born with courage. Nobody is born with anything. You're born as a physical human, body. Obviously, you have a spirit. We're all spiritual beings, but everything else you acquire, everything else you learn. And while in my little bit of, humble experience, the stuff I teach myself, the stuff I explore for myself, not the stuff you sit in the classroom and somebody teaches you. That's the stuff that gives you the best and the most impactful, returns.
Yeah.
So if you're lacking confidence, buy books about how to boost your confidence. If you are lacking courage, talk to friends. Always have a mentor. I find that young people often get trapped in the illusion of eternity. Because when you're 20, 25, 30, your body is still energetic, biochemically. Your body can do a lot of stuff. Young people need to understand that being a human being, especially women, we are the underdogs. Black women are the underdogs. Everywhere you go, you're an underdog. We're like ants, black women. We've got immense potential. We have immense galvanizing potential. You go to a hair salon. I always make an example of a hair salon. Or women are huddling together and exchanging all sorts of things. How to cope with an abusive husband, how to
but
cope
are we
with
using that
terrible
potential
kid.
though?
We're not. But, we shouldn't see life in a stop and start way, in a short-term way, because how old is the earth itself? And so we shouldn't be harsh, we should be kind to ourselves. Yes, we are not using our full potential. I'm not sure how close we are to using our full potential, but I would estimate we're very far off. So there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot that we should do together as black women. And I emphasize black women because of the dire socio-economic crisis or crises that we find ourselves in. We need to find a way of complaining less but doing more.
Pin that. I love that.
So yes, we can complain.
There's
a lot to complain about, but if we are not activating our own solutions, we are going to be a bunch of complainers 50 years from now, and our children and their children would have learned nothing from our existence. We have to leave something behind for them. Note the problems, note the challenges, be fully aware of them, be aware, be woke, as you guys say. Be as woke as you want, but don't be stuck in wokeness. We have to grab the violence against us, that bull of violence. We have to grab the poverty bull by the horns. We have to grab the bull of disease and illness. I'm very much into health stuff now, indigenous health. I've just applied for a fellowship, a 3-year fellowship, and I hope I'm going to be successful because I believe in ongoing learning. And there's a very big opportunity for black women to partake in the healthcare space and empower themselves by understanding the treasures that we have in indigenous health, indigenous medicine, natural stuff that you can just plant in your garden, and if it doesn't grow in your area, you can get it from somebody else, so we can exchange to resolve our health crisis, because as women we reproduce, and so we have additional challenges with health as opposed to men. And not to say drop Western health, you can blend the two. Go to your Western trained doctor, but also learn more about indigenous health. Healthcare. We have our own natural remedies.
But were they not using those natural remedies?
Yes, they were.
Those plants?
Remember we started the Umhlonyane craze on Twitter?
I
think that was in the forefront of that craze, right? And people had forgotten. You know, you were asking me earlier about my hair.
Yes.
I use a plant called inkunzana. I know a lot of young black people don't know about it. But part of the crisis is because our content at school, the content that you learn at universities, is very Eurocentric.
But why do we unlearn the ones that Obogogo and Obomametu have taught us? Why can't you just
Because we're stuck in complaining mode. We're stuck in complaining mode. And we are so used to being a subordinate species on Earth. We wait for men, whether white, black, Indian, colored, Chinese. We wait for men as black women to tell us, okay, it's time to change the curriculum. It's time to change how you wash, what you wash your face with. The soaps we use are very toxic for our skin. You know, black skin has got the benefit of longevity. But if you don't take care of it properly and you use harsh soaps on it,
that's the opposite.
It's going to wrinkle. You're going to stop saying black don't crack. Black cracks now.
Because it's cracking now.
Because you are using the wrong stuff on it. You're using too much chemicals on it. Our grandparents would reach the age of 90 looking like they're 70. It's not brain surgery. They were less Western educated than us, but they were healthier than us. They were physically stronger than us. They had more endurance. Bebalima, walima, way beyond 80.
Yo.
They were stronger than us.
Tina's pensioning is 60 and you are done. At 60 you are fine.
Some
like,
of
hey,
intanga zenu engizibonayo manje.
40.
When they hear my age and I listen to their age, I'm like, hey, you are that much younger than me and you already look like this? So it's all about self-preservation, self-love, self-care. All of it is free. You don't pay to love yourself.
Yeah.
You don't pay to think. You know, we must start enjoying the stuff we don't pay tax for. Thinking, you don't pay tax. Speaking, you don't need permission to speak.
Free.
You don't need permission to love yourself. You don't need permission to be courageous. You don't need permission to explore. You know, very soon we should start getting data that is either free or cheap so that we can all access the right information and stop going to pornography sites and stop being obsessed with alcohol and stop being obsessed with drugs. That stuff is just killing you quicker. And, you know, I'm even, you know, as an activist, I'm starting to believe that the government must stop paying for free healthcare for all. That's nonsense. Free healthcare for responsible citizens. This nonsense of everything free is getting you. If you
because
drink,
your potential, then you relax. Because it's already done for you.
If you drink too much alcohol and you develop a liver disease, why must the state take on that expense? If you smoke too much and you get lung cancer that can be directly linked to the cigarettes that you're smoking, why must the state take care of you? If you had an accident because you were drinking drunk, why must you go to Charlotte Maxwell? Go and take care of yourself. It's all about responsibility.
I don't talk about feminism, right? When people hear it, they're like, yo, ngatuyalwa, you know? It just has this negative connotation to it, which is it's just aggressive women
it's
who
toxic
just think
now.
It's toxic. You know,
because
but
people
what's your
don't know
take
what
on that?
it is. People don't know what feminism is. We're in the age where nobody reads properly. So nobody explores anything for themselves, like I said. So people just are in the hype of repeating hashtags and, you know, about understanding.
Get trendy.
Feminism is like any other struggle, like the struggle against racism, the struggle against mining companies that are butchering communities. I'm going to a funeral on Friday in Durban, in KZN rather, of Umam Figile Nchangase, Ubulewe, fighting the struggles against the mining company that's destroying the natural environment we choose to stay. Feminism is a simple thing. We are struggling and fighting and pushing for equality, economic equality. Prancing around naked is not equality. And I'm not saying it's wrong. If you want to prance around naked, that's your thing. You do that. You do you, I do me. A man can be a feminist as long as the man agrees that women must be equal to men in every sense. Not just in the sense that, you know, men love it when you bring your paycheck.
Yeah.
Bese niyashada, bese 299,
50-50,
you net joint
and then,
income. Now you can get a bigger
Together.
BMW because you bring it. That's the only time they recognize your power. But
Yeah.
in reality, culturally, the cultural norms that all of us were brought up with.
Yeah.
Fanele uhloniphe ubaba ekhaya ngoba uyinhloko. There's no emphasis on hloniphe umama. So
But isn't that
subliminally,
our responsibility now?
thank you.
To include that
Thank you.
and stop subjecting
Every time
ourselves
the
to all
old
these
people in
rules.
your family call you, hey, hlonipha ubaba uyinhloko, ukuthi ngicela ukuhlonipha nomama as well.
Thank
And then-
you.
And then even that whole extremely masculine way of defining a man
Yeah.
is also detrimental on men. There are lots of men who feel overly pressured in society. If they can't deliver those 10, 20 cows for the lobola, their ego and their self-esteem takes a knock. Men should embrace the feminist struggle because sisizabona.
Yeah, that was a drop mic moment. Sisizabona. I dropped mic.
Sisizabona. Angisho
Yo,
ukuthi
yes.
uyilobole, ungaziloboli, please ungaziloboli.
Yes.
Awumsizi umuntu wesilisa uma uyilobona. Akahamba yosebenza save akulobole kahle. Ungayiloboli. Angisho ukuthi
Ungayiloboli,
phela. I have some
No,
pride.
I agree, absolutely. I think lastly, please look into the camera and really speak to women, to African women who are like, hey man, I don't have it in me. You know, you sound so strong and you've got it all together.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe you sound like when you're advantaged, Tina, understand, you know, most this conversation.
Yes.
So just speak to them and maybe impart some knowledge to them. You can look into that camera.
I wouldn't want to say too much because in South Africa we all come from a very diverse backgrounds. Majority of our people are struggling with a lot of poverty. And so accessing basic things that to a middle class person would seem simple is extremely difficult. So with that sensitivity, I'd like to ask abantu besifazane base South Africa to please learn to love themselves first and foremost. You can't give what you don't have. You can't love someone if you don't love yourself. Take time, make time to get to know yourself. Spend time empowering yourself. Then, by the time you go out, you'cela usizo outside. People are willing to help you more because you've done something for yourself. But also lastly, embrace one another's power as women. Asihlukane nomona, black jealousy, low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence. All of those things lead to a very divisive, female population in our country. As females, we don't need to be toxic towards men, but we need to recognize that men are raping our babies, are raping elderly women, are raping, young girls, and therefore we need to come together and work hard to make that scourge go away. However, it starts with us. We must empower ourselves. We must be confident in ourselves. We must understand that we need to work hard. We need to also learn to make our own money. Let's stop chasing men for money. If I'm married and my man is bringing in money and I'm bringing in money, that's a good thing. We both can build a good family together. But let's try and be careful of not making our own money. That is very, very important. Even if you're 500 rand a month, even if you're 5,000 a month, it's fine. The value of learning how to make your own money legally is invaluable.
Legally. Love it. Oh man, you know what? You speak so much knowledge and power, and I'm so honored to have you on the show today. And I'm inspired by such a strong woman that I can learn so much from. Okay, so I have this cushion for you.
Oh my goodness.
So this cushion, right? So we've put a face of a woman that really inspires us. She
Yes.
speaks power and confidence, and we love her. And I hope she inspires you as much as she inspires us. She has found her own kind of beautiful.
Yes.
So you can keep this with you and look at her.
Oh my
So let's-
This is me.
Yes, it's you.
Isn't it vain for me to take a cushion of myself? I love you so much.
Oh,
Thank you
she's so beautiful. We love her.
Oh, thank you so much. Should I show them?
Yes.
Which way should I show?
Oh, look at that gorgeous
Where?
queen. Yes.
Should I show it there?
You see it? Yay. Thank you so much for
this
your
is
time.
such a pleasant surprise. Oh my goodness, I'm like really, really shocked. But thank
I'm glad
you.
you're
No,
surprised.
thank you. You and your sister are just so beautiful.
Thank you.
You are just so stunning.
I'm so excited to meet you. Wow. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really
It's an
appreciate your
honor.
time
It's
on
an
the
honor
show.
for me, for you to have invited me on your show, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you for the cushion.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
I can love myself more.
What I will leave you with is the country needs us as women to be courageous and lead. I don't know if you're ready for that, but vote, fight, and let your voice be heard. I'm Mandisa Mashego, and this is My Own Kind of Beautiful.